with movies like Frankenstein, and then Lana Del Rey's new release with White Feather Hot Tail Deer Hunter. I figured we would try to do a little dark romance, ethereal makeup look. I feel like this look is pretty beginner friendly as well, and I haven't done a makeup tutorial in a while, so I figured we would do one today. Before we get into this makeup look, make sure you are subscribed to my channel. I'm also on Instagram, on TikTok, so definitely if you want to be my bestie, give me a follow on there as well. But let me stop yapping and start teaching. Now I'm going to start off by mixing two foundations. So I have these two right here, this Armani one and this e.l.f. tint. I like to mix them to create a better skin tone, and you're not going to need a lot. So I just take this and mix it up real good, and I try to make sure I get the excess off the brush, and then I am just going to beat it in there. I like to carry it below my jawline, and what you're not going to do is you're not going to put it in your under eye area, because we want to try to avoid cakiness, because it is very easy to get cakey under your eyes. So I just try to avoid that altogether. Now the type of foundation and the amount of foundation is up to you and how much coverage you want. The two foundations I'm using are a light coverage. Okay, and once you think you've got that all blended in, we're gonna move on to the next step. Now I'm not gonna be using bronzer for this look because the goal is to be like a dark romance, medieval type ordeal. So we're not trying to be a sun-kissed baddie right now, unfortunately. But next I am going to take my NYX Wonder Stick Contour. This is the shade Fair. Oh, and if you want my foundation colors, because I forgot to tell that. So the Armani one is shade 5, and then this e.l.f. one is shade 3, light medium. Sorry about that, besties, I forgot to tell you. All right, so what I like to do with my contour is I like to put it on the brush first. I don't like to directly apply it to my face. That way you have more control of what you're doing and you're less likely to have really harsh lines. But I like to put some just a little below my cheekbone. I like to contour my nose, make it look snatched. I like to do a little bit right here too to kind of lift my face, because I do have more of a round face. And then the jawline, which I like to bring it up to my ear to really get that effect. And then just make sure you blend it all in so you have no harsh lines. I'll even take my fingers a little bit if I need to, or you can take like a beauty sponge and do that as well. Also, a little trick to keep your eyeshadow on your eyes is to carry your foundation onto your eyelids or get some concealer. So I'm gonna take just a little bit of concealer because I forgot to carry it on with my foundation. And I'm just gonna put a little bit on my eyelids for when I go to do my eyeshadow. Now I'm gonna take some blush. So I have this Pixie Beauty blush in the shade, I think it's pronounced Fleur. But I really like this one because it's really cheeky tone. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it. Again, this kind of depends on what you want. Because I have more of a round face, I don't really like to bring the blush all the way down here. I like to have it more up, but again, it depends on your face shape and what you wanna do. So I kind of carry mine here. I'm also going to be using this a little bit as a concealer under my eyes. So I'm going to take it and kind of do it under my eyes as well, because I'm going for a more pinky flushed look under the eyes, because that's kind of the dark romance. I'm not going to take a ton though. And then I'm just going to blend that in. And I will carry it a little bit to the apple of my cheeks just to have that more ethereal look. I'm going to go ahead and do my brows. So I have this NYX brow glue, and I really don't do much shaping. Again, it's kind of up to you and how you like to do your eyebrows. But I'm just going to brush them up a little bit and kind of shape them, just so they don't look like hairy caterpillars. Next, I'm going to take some highlight because I do want a little bit of glow. Again, we're not going for a bronzy look, but we can have a little bit of a glittery glow look. So this is by Rare Beauty. This is the shade Enchant. I'm almost out because this is just a mini. I'm going to apply it to my hand, not my face. And then I'm just going to take a little brush and put that all over my cheekbone. And I'm going to also carry it up into my eyelid. And then I'll even put a little on the edge of my nose. Next, we're gonna go in with some setting powder. So I have two setting powders that I like to use. This is by Tarte Cosmetics and it is the pink shade. And then I love this Laura Mercier setting powder. It's the translucent shade. And what I like to do is I like to take the Tarte one, that's the pink color, and use that under my eyes for more brightening. And I'll just take a little brush because I don't use a lot of setting powder. And I'll just do this under the eyes. And I'll also do my eyelid. Then I'll take the translucent one and do that in my oily spots. So I'll do my chin and my T-zone. And that's about all the setting powder that I use. Moving on to eyes, which I feel like is one of the most important parts besides the lips. So I have this Makeup by Mario palette, the Master Mattes, the neutrals, but you can have any palette that has just neutral colors like this. But I'm gonna start with this shade right here, which I believe is number 4. And I'm just gonna put this all over my lid, but I'm really gonna focus on the inner corner of my eye because that's where I want it to be the brightest. But I want just a base shade. And go ahead and take that shade. This is a eye brightening trick. And you're gonna take it in the corner of your eye and carry it down. I think I actually saw this on TikTok or something from Makeup by Mario. And we know he's a genius at makeup, so. Next, I'm gonna take this shade right here. So this is number 8. And we're gonna do that kind of in the crease of our eye. So I like to take it right here and kind of mash it in gently. And I have hooded eyes, so if you don't have hooded eyes, you can do it a little differently. But I take it and I mash it in right here. And then I very gently, do not press in, just as if you're dusting it so gently. Taking it to the rest of my crease all the way across. But you want the majority of the pigment and color to be right here. So when you brush over, just do it so gently, going back and forth. And then you can flick it up and out, have a little bit of a cat eye effect. And if I don't think it's blended well enough, I'll just take my ring finger and kind of blend that a little bit. And I'm gonna take that same shade and do the outer corner of my eye. I can even carry it down a little bit. Next, I'm gonna take my Charlotte Tilbury palette. This is the Pillow Talk Luxury palette. And I am just going to take this color right here, which they call it the prime number 1 color. And I am just going to take a little brush and I'm gonna press it in the corner of my eye right here. Remember to be very gentle about these things. But if you just have a dusty pink color in your makeup palette, then perfect. And again, I kind of just like to blend it with my finger a little bit. Okay, I'm going back to the Makeup by Mario palette just to do a little winged eyeliner. So I just take an angled brush and I am just gonna take this dark brown shade. This is shade 12. And I'm not gonna do a lot. I'm just going to basically press it into the corner of my eye. And that is about it. And I'm also gonna take that same shade and carry it a little bit under my eye. About halfway. And then to really create that cat eye, I just take my finger and spread it out. I want to add just a little bit of brightness to my eyes, so I am going to take this Charlotte Tilbury eyeliner. This is a dual-ended eyeliner that I got a while back, and I'm just going to use the bright side and put that in my waterline. Now moving on to lashes, I'm going to curl my lashes. Now, I'm not a big fan of putting on lashes, not that I don't like them, I just am not very good at putting them on. So I'm just gonna do mascara. I have Kosa's Soul Gazer, which I love this one. And I'm just gonna put on a little bit of mascara. But you can do whatever you want. If you like a good lash, put on a good lash. Okay, my eyes are done. Now, one of the most important parts is the lips. I feel like my camera doesn't really do this makeup look justice. But anyways, all right, so I have this Maybelline lip liner. This is the shade On It. This is probably one of my go-to most favorite lip liners I have ever owned. I love it so much. I don't know what it is, but it goes great with, I think, my skin tone. One of my favorites, and it's not that expensive. So anyways, what I like to do is I am just going to really line my Cupid's bow, overlining that, and I'll go a little bit to the side, and then I'll do the middle of my bottom lip. Then I will take a brush and blend that in, and I'll take it to the sides a little bit. Look how much better that looks with just the lip liner, I swear. I don't know what magic potion they put in this, but I love it. A cult classic. This is one of my favorites. I have gone through so many tubes of this, but it is the Clinique Black Honey shade. I love it. I know it gets some hate. I don't know why, but this is one of the best like lip products that you can have for a natural look, romantic look, anything. So I'm just gonna take that, and again, this is a buildable shade, which is another thing I really love about it. And I'm just going to dab it into my lips. Really focusing on the middle too, but I don't like to rub my lipsticks in. I prefer to dab it. Look at that. I'm just gonna take some setting spray. I have the Charlotte Tilbury one. Spray that all over. And that completes the look, guys. Trying to get a different position to see if it really shows the makeup. But I really feel like this is just a good kind of dark romance, a little ethereal look, and it's honestly not that hard either. This could be a great everyday look, this could be a great date night look, this could be a great going to the grocery store look, I don't know. But again, I feel like the camera does not do this look justice, but I can't afford to get a new one right now. So we're gonna have to work with what we got, but definitely save this look for later. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, but I love you guys and I'll see you next week. Bye.